guys, it's Cindy Lietz, your Polymer Clay Tutor. In today's PCT product demo, I'm going to show you these cool Mandala stamps by Haskins Design Studio. Now, these are laser cut acrylic stamps that are unlike anything I have used before with polymer clay. You can use them with all kinds of different mediums. You can use them with polymer clay, paper clay, air dry clay, ceramic clay, even things like fondant and candle making and soap making and all kinds of stuff. And I even just thought of one today using them for pencil rubbings. So all kinds of cool things that you could do with these acrylic stamps. Let me just show you what they are all about, okay? Now I've got a bunch of different designs here. Tina Haskins is an architect who also loves to work with polymer clay, and she designed over 150 different designs of these mandalas. Now I'm going to show them all to you in a second, but they may or may not arrive to you with this paper coating on it. And before you can start to use them, you need to soak them in water, soapy water. And the reason why I'm telling you this right now is we'll throw it into the bowl and let it soak while we're talking here. I've got some soapy water and we'll just let it soak, and then I'll show you how to remove that paper. Now we can go back to these. Now, why don't I first show you what I made with the stamps? Okay, let me see. I took this stamp here, this acrylic stamp, and made these two different patterns. Whoops, they're hopping out there. Which look completely different. They're both made with the same stamp and the same Primo Sunset Pearl clay, but they've been handled in completely different ways. This one here is a technique called Mica Shift. Now I have a video on doing Mica Shift, so you can check that out if you've never done it before. But basically it is a perfectly smooth technique that looks like it's three-dimensional, and that's because you push the particles in the pearl clay around, and these acrylic stamps work beautifully for it. This one here, I've used it in its dimensional form. So I pushed the clay into the stamp, I domed it, so this is kind of a domed half here, and I put a little bit of mica powders on the raised areas, and it has a completely different look to it. And you can use these stamps for lots of different types of polymer clay techniques. I've taken one of these Mica Shift discs and made it into a pair of earrings. Well, actually not a pair, just a single one. I'm going to make this one after. But I wanted to show you that you could also take two disc pieces, put them together, and make yourself like a lentil bead, a hollow lentil bead. I have tutorials on how to make hollow lentil beads too, but I thought I would point that out because it's very cool. Now, these, like I said, are laser cut acrylics. So they're made of acrylic plastic type material, and there is a little bit of a special care that you need to do with it. It's rigid, so it's going to act differently than any of your flexible molds like rubber stamps or silicone molds or anything like that. And the designs are crazy detailed. Let me show you one, for example, that's just super detailed here. It's got all kinds of super fine lines, and that's the only thing. You can only get that with laser, as far as I know, to get those sharp details. She has lots of different designs. These are all 1.5 inch circles. And let me just show you the different patterns as I'll go through them. This one is from, this is number 20. So this is what that pattern looks like, and you can see the tiny little detail that it picks up. Because of being the laser etched acrylic, it's just so much more crisper than any rubber stamp detail that you're going to get. The next one I'll show you here is design number 13. And sometimes what you think it's going to look like, how it looks like here, looks quite different in its 3D form. Because of course it's opposite, right? You're filling in the spaces, the negative space is what ends up showing up. This design here is 60. This one's called 61. This is the one that I did a little sneak peek on. So some of you were wondering what it was that I was showing you. And this is the design here. And you can see, well, I don't know if Doug's will be able to pick it up, but on here, even just the little etched backgrounds from the acrylic stamp are showing up on the clay, which just shows you how much detail you can get from these types of stamps. This number here is number 5. It's very pretty. And like I said, she's got, or maybe I didn't say, but she's got 150 different designs, and you can buy them in sets of 5 or 10. I have 10 here. There's this pattern, the one that I made the earrings with, and the other domed piece. This is design number 1. I'm really just going through these so that you can really get a good idea how different they all look and how cool they are. You could also use these types of stampings for full enamel typed projects. You could fill those little crevices in there with tinted liquid clay. All kinds of cool stuff you could do. Oh, sorry, that's number 60, pattern 60. This one has a completely different look. This is number 7R. Oops, just a sec here. Fingers out of the way. 7R. I think this one would look a lot like a dream catcher. If you wanted to hang some feathers underneath it or something like that, it's really cool looking. The next one is number 59. And this one has a lot less fine details, but still really tiny little geometric type pattern on there. Really cool looking. All right, so that's those ones. Let's check out this one here. The paper's starting to get soaked, and you can usually just peel off the large pieces really quite easily. You want to take, when you're taking care of these and cleaning them up, never use rubbing alcohol on them. Rubbing alcohol is really hard on acrylic, so that goes for your acrylic roller and that kind of thing too. So you can just scrape it off. If you need to, you can scrub it with a stiff toothbrush. You may need to let it sit a little bit longer. This one looks like it needs to sit a little bit longer, or maybe with a little hotter water. But it'll come off nice and clean. Soapy water will do it, and you'll get a really cool pattern. This pattern here is number 64. But you're not going to be able to see it because I don't have time to peel it all off right now. All right, so there's that. But let me just quickly show you how to use these stamps. I will pick, what should I pick? I'll pick this one here. You're going to want to you need a release for these stamps. Otherwise, the clay is going to get caught in there. Now this one's nice and open, but it does have a lot of super fine detail in the center. So use something like either cornstarch. In some countries they call it corn flour. Or you can use mica powder. Corn flour is easy to use. You want to make sure it's in there, but you don't want it so caked in that it's getting stuck on your clay or you're losing any of the details. Water isn't going to be your best, especially with some of the brands like Fimo where water kind of just makes it sticky. So just use cornstarch is perfect. Then you just take your clay. This happens to be a sheet of Primo Sunset Pearl. It's a real pretty color. And you put it on top and you start pressing it in. I like to press it in from the back. I found that if I tried to use like an acrylic brayer or something, it would skip a little bit and kind of leave a double impression, and you don't want that. So you want to make sure that you've got it pressed in all the way around and that you haven't missed any of the detail. You can see through it, so you can kind of see if you've missed any areas. And then I like to peel it back, but I like to peel it back kind of from all the spots towards the center. from the outside to the center is what I'm trying to say here. Then you lift it out. And isn't that so cool? Now I found that they sort of came out domed. They're kind of scooped out by the time you peel them out. You could just leave it domed like that. Even if you didn't have a domed cookie sheet or one of these Sculpey hollow bead makers, you could still it'd probably stay domed if you just baked it flat like that. But I'm going to cut it out. I have a 1.5 inch round cookie cutter or a clay cutter. Just going to look over from the top, try to get it as centered as possible. Cut it out. And now I have this beautiful little domed piece. Isn't that cool? Now you could bake it on here, like I said, or you could, or if you want to, you can flatten them back out again just by, just pressing it back down flat. So you could layer these. There's all sorts of really cool things that you can do with it. Make sure that if you do get any clay stuck inside there, that you just scrub it out with some soapy water and try to get it out. You may use like a toothpick or something to pick at it, but try not to get it stuck in there. Make sure to use the cornstarch and you will be good to go. So I hope you found that helpful and that it was interesting for you. And if you did like this video, do let us know. And if you've got suggestions for products that you'd like me to test, techniques you'd like to learn more about, or whatever that you have questions about with polymer clay, then make sure to leave your suggestions in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We have tons and tons of cool videos coming out all the time. And click that little bell sign so that you get notified. Some of you are missing some of our great videos, so you'll want to make sure to do that. All right, so we will see you next time, and bye for now.